The St. Patrick's Day party got started at the crack of dawn in Columbia. Hundreds of runners took part in the Get to the Green races featuring a 5K, 10K, 15K, and a 1-mile family fun run. That was all followed by the annual St. Pat's Parade featuring this year's Grand Marshal, the Vietnam Veterans of America Chapter 303, who rode in Vietnam-era Jeeps and Humvees. Well, what started out as a drizzly celebration has turned into a clear and warm evening here in the Midlands. You can see a clear scene on our radar this evening, and you can expect more of the same tonight and for your Sunday. Meteorologist Kevin Arnone has a look at your forecast.
Yeah, those guys were cool. I'm just out of breath looking at those guys dancing, huh? Unbelievable. I'll tell you, we saw some rain earlier today, much needed rain. That has now since moved off to our south to the east. Still dealing with some clouds out there, and really that's going to be the case as we go through the rest of the evening. Slow clearing, but still going to be breezy. So the breeze is going to continue as we go through the day today. Now, I'll take the perspective out. Really not much going on radar. We are quiet. We're going to remain quiet as we go through the rest of the night. Good news for us. Temperatures today did get into the 70s. Current temperature right now about 70, Columbia 71, Lexington 71 north. So we did see those temperatures spike up a little bit as that sun came out. We did see a little bit of sunshine as we went into the afternoon. And again, still going to be dealing with this wind. Right now from the southwesterly direction, it's going to continue to blow from this direction, bringing in the warmth. We're going to continue with those 70s as we go into the day tomorrow. However, things are going to be starting to change as we go into the day on Monday. We have issued an alert day for Monday. We're looking at some storms for the morning. Nothing severe for the morning hours, but as we go into the afternoon to the evening, that's when we can see some stronger storms moving in. We're going to have that future cast coming up, and I'll timeline all that weather coming our way. Emily, over to you.
Thanks, Kevin. New at 6, Richland County officials have tentatively identified the victim of an early morning car crash. This is new video of the scene on US 1 at the intersection of Clemson Road, where Highway Patrol says the driver ran off the roadway, hit a guardrail and an embankment before the vehicle caught on fire. The driver has been tentatively identified as 16-year-old James Jefferson III, pending a dental records match that will happen Monday. A traffic alert if you plan on driving near I-77 today. Ramps, they'll be closed on the two-notch southbound ramp. It'll close at 8 tonight and Sunday night. Contractors are working on widening the interstate. You're asked to avoid the area if possible. The ramps will reopen at 10 Sunday morning. This evening, President Donald Trump is calling the firing of Andrew McCabe great for democracy, but the former FBI deputy director says he's just the latest target in the president's ongoing battle with the FBI. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was set to retire Sunday until Attorney General Jeff Sessions fired him late Friday night. The FBI itself recommended McCabe be fired for letting FBI insiders talk to a reporter during its investigation of the Clinton Foundation. President Trump, a frequent McCabe critic, took to Twitter to praise the firing, calling it a great day for the hardworking men and women of the FBI. But McCabe says he's been a Trump target ever since he publicly supported FBI Director James Comey when the president fired him.
Simply put, sir, you cannot stop the men and women of the FBI from doing the right thing, protecting the American people, and upholding the Constitution.
McCabe says his firing is part of an unprecedented effort by the administration driven by the president himself. A person close to McCabe tells NBC News McCabe kept memos about his interactions with the president, just as James Comey did. Like Comey, McCabe could be an important witness in the Mueller-Russia investigation. Some congressional Democrats want to know why McCabe was fired before an inspector general report on the matter has been made public.
I mean, you're already seeing Democrats like Kamala Harris, California senator, calling on Jeff Sessions to come to the Hill and explain why this very unique step of firing McCabe before the IG report came out was taken.
The president's personal attorney, John Dowd, said the Justice Department should now end the Mueller investigation, but insisted he's not speaking on the president's behalf. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
On Twitter, former FBI Director James Comey has weighed in on McCabe's firing. Comey tweeted, "Mr. President, the American people will hear my story very soon, and they can judge for themselves who is honorable and who is not." New video now of 2 cars being removed from underneath the pedestrian bridge that collapsed near Florida International University in Miami this week. The crumpled cars were covered and taken from the scene on flatbed trucks this morning. Police say 3 bodies were recovered from the 2 cars. The death toll remains at 6 as crews work to remove 6 more cars from underneath the rubble. The cars removed today were completely flattened after the 950-ton bridge fell on top of them.
as the process it moves forward, every time that we remove a body, a victim, within the vehicles, the vehicle with the victims inside are being transferred to the medical examiner's office, and that's where the bodies will be removed from the vehicle and identified so that we can have 100% confirmation as to their identity so we can bring some closure to the families.
State and federal investigators are working to determine how and why the pedestrian bridge collapsed. Meanwhile, a newly released voicemail left just 2 days before the fatal collapse reveals there were cracks at one end of the bridge. An engineer left the voicemail for an employee at the Florida Department of Transportation, but it was not heard until after the collapse because the employee was out of the office. The engineer said in the call he did not believe the cracking posed a safety issue.
We've taken a look at it, and obviously some repairs or whatever will have to be done, but from a safety perspective, we don't see that there's any issue there, so we're not concerned about it from that perspective, although obviously the cracking is not good and something's going to have to be done to repair that.
Federal transportation safety officials said Friday night they do not know if any cracking was related to the collapse. Coming up, speaking out for those behind bars, many voiced their support of prison reform at a rally on State House grounds this afternoon, what they're asking from lawmakers. Plus, all's clear on our radar this evening. Will it stay that way for your St. Patrick's celebrations tonight? Your full First Alert forecast ahead.